over 19 years, your eyes and ears on horse racing has been Tommy Walski's, the Sport of King. On today's show, we'll go to school. Our race of the week is the CTHS Sales Stake. Tommy recaps some of the major stakes in racing across the nation. We'll hit the archives in case you missed it. Tommy gets you caught up on the buzz. I salute the champions, remembers one of racing's equine heroes. And out here for you, BC's ambassador to the world of horse racing, Mr. Tommy Walski.
Recently on the Sport of Kings, we did a feature on red-hot apprentice jockey Ryan Pacheco. Now, during that interview, Ryan had talked about how he got started by attending the Chris McCarron North American Riding Academy. After we aired it, we had numerous requests to learn more about the Chris McCarron North American Riding Academy.
Chris McCarron achieved greatness as a jockey. Now this Hall of Famer has started a school for jockeys, hoping that he can give riders on this continent that same edge other jockeys have had in other countries around the world.
We've got the best racing in the world. From January 1st to December 31st, every year, bar none, the United States has the finest racing. We put on the best show. Virtually every other country that has a racing industry has a school through which these license applicants must go before they can even apply for a jockey's license. It's crazy to think that we've never had a place to formally train kids how to ride.
McCarron learned to ride on the job. School wasn't an option.
I remember when I was starting out, I was scared to death working around horses. It took me a good 9 months, I think, to get comfortable working around the horses.
At the North American Racing Academy, the days start at 7 in the morning. Students must tend to their horses. At 7:30, it's off to the classroom.
So the topic for today, we're going to talk about how do we evaluate brood mares or potential brood mares, like maybe maiden mares coming off at the track. When do we start the breeding season? So when does the breeding sheds open around here?
Then it's a grueling equisizer session where McCarron puts them through practice races.
The equisizer class is very important because even though it may look easy, it's very strenuous. Don't fall, don't touch. Don't touch it with your hands. It's just a great tool. Harder. We can show them how to develop technique on the mechanical horse almost as well as on a real horse. All right, Ryan, your horse is lazy.
Students follow this up with an hour in the barn before going to the track.
I think one of the most important aspects of the way we develop this program, whereby we have the students rubbing or grooming 2 horses each as well as getting on them every day, what I'm hoping that we're able to develop with students by the time they leave this program is they'll have a great appreciation for all the hard work that the grooms put in and the exercise riders put in getting their horses, to the gate for them.
Yeah, I wonder what Jerry Bailey and Gary Stevens are doing right now.
The Academy allows a rider the time to gain confidence in a safe environment.
There's always doubt because, you start losing some confidence and then you start gaining it back. It's a process.
And that process of learning starts with McCarron constantly in the ear of each aspiring rider.
I equip them all with radios and they've got earbuds in there so that I can communicate with them while they're out there riding. The rest of the instruction.
You can build your confidence a lot easier.
First-year student Christina McManigal in a short time has already learned how to handle the bad-acting horse in the barn, Billy.
He would get me off so many times. I mean, he's crazy.
Good job, Christina. Way to hang on.
Okay, Christina, now it's gonna be very important for you to show him who's boss now that he's gotten you off, okay? I want you to get after him hard. Go. When he goes up in the air, when he goes backwards, Christina, get off his mouth. Don't pull on his mouth. Atta girl, now let him go. Let him go. Good.
You just gotta show him who's boss,
Good job. Okay, slow down a little bit, Christina. Rear back, atta girl. Good.
They've got a mile track, a 5-furlong track, and a big 20-acre field that we gallop in as well. The Kentucky Community and Technical College system is the main force behind the school. They've provided us with all the funding, all the resources necessary to build an academic program and to get this thing off the ground.
Calling future horsemen, McCarron sees the school expanding beyond just teaching jockeys.
The main reason I decided to call it a racing academy and not riding academy is because We plan to expand this program to include courses for horsemanship, not just riding. We want this academy to become a source of labor for the industry because I think it's necessary.
Join the exciting world of thoroughbred horse racing. Buy a BC bred future champion at the CTHS Yearling and Mix Sale, Tuesday, September 14th at Thunderbird Show Park in Langley. Preview parade on September 13th. Visit www.cthsbc.org today. Picture yourself in the winner's circle.
Now it's time to get you caught up with all the news in horse racing with The Buzz.
This coming Monday at Hastings Racecourse, we're all in for a treat when we're attending the races. It is Labor Day. 2 major stakes and also prior to the Richmond Derby. Popular 2008 BC Horse of the Year and also Derby winner from that season, from that year rather. Butch Gosson's Crazy Coffee is going to be retired with a special presentation. Now, as far as why Crazy Coffee retired, his trainer, Cindy Krasner, told us he had developed a problem and has only decided now would be the right time for Crazy Coffee to call it a career. Now, as far as that second career, he's now going to become a dressage horse under the care of Leslie Reed. Last week, there were 3 major stakes run here at Hastings Racecourse, and we're going to count down all 3 of them. First up was the $50,000 New Westminster Stakes. This is for 2-year-old colts. And coming from off the pace, the winner was Lara's Racing Stables Promising Tia Peku, ridden by Red Hot Amadeo Perez. And Juan, thank you for that name.
On the outside, Mr. Collaborator, it's Chalaki Packy going right on by. Chalaki Packy to score in the New Westminster. Lookout Dubai will be second. Mr. Collaborator third.
Next up, we're going to show the 2-year-old fillies who are in action in the $50,000 Lassie Stakes. Now, in this race, it was all overvalued. Who easily went to the front. She never looked back. She was trained by Tracy McCarthy and ridden by veteran rider Dave Wilson. That is overvalued.
It's overvalued, striding away by 3, by 4, by 5. Overvalued to score in the Lassie. It will be victory with class second. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink third.
Next up, the 3-year-old fillies got a chance to perform in the $50,000 CTHS Sales Stakes. And this was won by J.B. Spencer's Wando Woman. Wando Woman came from off the pace. She bested Sweet and Sour. Wando Woman was trained by Cindy Krasner and was ridden by Frank Fuentes.
Here's Wando Woman. She's widest of all. Wando Woman, Sweet and Sour, victorious by Wando Woman, Sweet and Sour. Wando Woman to score. Sweet and Sour second, victorious by third.
Last Saturday, Jeff Jackson's popular race mare, Rachel Alexander, finished second in the $300,000 personal ensign stakes. It was run at Saratoga Racetrack in New York. After the race, Jackson stated, "We are disappointed in the results, as we are sure her countless fans are, but we are certainly not disappointed in her. She is still a superstar in our hearts and minds." And that's it for this week's Buzz.
Don't go away. The Sport of Kings. We'll be right back. Racing across the nation, where we follow all the top stakes races throughout North America. Racing Across the Nation is brought to you in memory of Jeff Robinson, owner and breeder at Erin Acres.
Today on our Racing Across the Nation segment, you are all in for a treat. As thanks to the folks at Del Mar Racecourse, we're going to show you a musical tribute to the legendary Zenyatta.
I got the magic in me. Every time I touch that track, it turns into gold. Everybody knows I got the magic in me. When I hit the floor, the girls come snapping at me. Now everybody wants a blast of magic, 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 magic.
They're up.
I got a feeling
You better take a look at Zenyatta.
that tonight's gonna be a good night.
Future superstar Zenyatta.
She just covers so much ground with those bounding strides.
Zenyatta on the extreme outside. A flawless performance winning the Apple Blossom.
Zenyatta reaches. Tough tiz assist. Zenyatta.
2 words. For real.
How do you describe perfection? Why try? Let's just watch her run. This is Zenyatta.
Poetry in motion is Cockchee Cantor's home.
1:41.2, equaling the mile and a 16th track record here on the poly track.
Here comes Zenyatta yet again. Ears prick, she's just striding away effortlessly. Zenyatta around the outside now strikes the front. Zenyatta's gonna come home to score. Undoubtedly now a living legend.
Tonight's gonna be a good night.
Zenyatta is kicked into gear. She's decided to go 4 wide, and here comes Zenyatta. Zenyatta levels out and runs away. Zenyatta! Here she comes, right on by. Here's the real Zen Master.
When she jumped into that big, long, beautiful stride, it was over.
Zenyatta! So close, I think Zenyatta got up and over it. Mike Smith takes dead aim on the leaders and asks Zenyatta to go. And just look at her go. Zenyatta with condescending ease. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Zenyatta. Zenyatta has a lot of ground to make up. Zenyatta, if she wins this, she'll be a super horse. She's starting to pick them off, though. Zenyatta gonna hook to the outside. Meanwhile, it's Colonel John Summerbird in the red cap. But now Zenyatta's come to the outside. Zenyatta coming flying on the red flat side. Gio Ponte on the inside. Summerbird is right there. This is unbelievable. Zenyatta, what a performance. One we'll never forget. Looked impossible, but it is Zenyatta, still unbeaten under Mike Smith. What a dramatic performance. One of the most sensational ever.
Mike Smith is watching it all unfold, and Zenyatta is only 2 lengths behind. Zenyatta trying to run it down on the money. Here's Zenyatta. Yes! Stamp this day in your minds and hearts. The Queen continues her legend 17 in a row.
Magic in me. I got the magic, baby. Every time I touch that track, it turns into gold. Yes, it turns to gold. Everybody knows I got the magic, 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 magic. Oh, I got the magic in me. I got the magic in me.
Hey racing fans, are you looking to buy a future champion at the CTHS auction? Look no further than Foundation Stables Chestnut Filly, represented by Red Rock Farms in the auction. Hip 51 is the first foal from Foundation Stables' multiple stakes winner, Slew Pass. Slew Pass won $280,000 for her owners and was bred to graded stakes winner Finality. Check her out in the parade on Monday, September 13th, and you'll want to have her running in your silks next year.
Now here's the part of the show we simply call In Case You Miss It. It's a chance for you to look back at the magic and the mystery of horse racing here in British Columbia from the Sport of Kings perspective, in case you missed it. Coming up in September is the annual Yearling and Mixed Sale, and to help you understand how much time and effort goes into preparing young horses for these sales, we talked to Roxanne Sargent, a top sales agent, and she's here to explain the process of getting a yearling to the sale.
Roxanne, it's so important to get a horse ready for a sale, and that's one of your responsibilities. How do you do it, and what is it all about?
Well, I think it's mainly about getting the horse to the sale in the best possible form that you can. It's making the horse as close to an athlete as it will be. So I think when buyers come and look at the horse, they don't have to make a leap as to looking at the horse and trying to think, well, what is this horse going to look like as a racehorse? And in prepping them, we're trying to make them athletes and make them understand all the tools that they need to be a good athlete. Patience and learning, all the things that they need, you know, I think when they become a racehorse. Their daily routine for prepping is to come in and they get groomed for about 30 minutes, and it's patience to stand there while they're being groomed. And we're trying to improve not only their coats, but their muscle tone and their manners, certainly, so that they're patient. And then they're walked, myself and two others, we walk them each about 15 to 20 minutes. And during that time, we're trying to increase their fitness, improve their walk so they have a nice forward athletic walk, that they turn properly, stand up and square properly so that they can be inspected. We also go through the routine of bathing them and so that they're used to the hose. We also practice loading them quite regularly so that they walk into the trailer and stand quietly. I guess our goal mainly is so that when we get to the sale, what we do with them, we want to be the constant and not the variables, because there's too many variables at the sale, and all yearlings are like little kids with their eyes wide open. And if you're doing something with them for the first time at the sale, then they're going to be really confused. So we just try and do the same routine that they're going to see at the sale, so that they're comfortable in doing that, and that then they are much more prepared to show and hopefully sell well. At a sale, you just never know. You know, there's more people certainly milling around them than they'll ever have, you know, here on the farm. You know, catalogs waving, papers blowing, certainly the actual sale, the announcer, all the commotion, people, cars are everywhere. Other horses are probably their biggest problem, you know, horses that get loose or other horses that are, you know, whinnying and hollering, and just anything can happen. Kids on bikes, they're always a real horror for us, and we just try and give them as much experience and get them as well broke so that when they're there, those things, even if they take them by surprise, that they're comfortable with us and what we deal, how we deal with them, so that, you know, hopefully they maintain their behavior and don't hurt themselves. I find the sales are quite competitive. We are all there, every agent is there to compete on a particular level because we're all there trying to sell our horse. We're trying to give the horse that education that it requires to get to the sale and to sell well, but we don't have we're not in control of the horse's breeding. That's been decided upon, you know, years ago by the breeder. I think right from the very beginning we can tell sort of some personality traits. Some are much easier to work with and others aren't, and I think that's just a test of my ability as a horseman to get them there. Whether or not they go on to be great racehorses or not remains to be seen.
The Sport of Kings shines its camera on the equine heroes competing for glory in the biggest weekly Hastings race. We call it our Race of the Week. The Race of the Week is brought to you by Nick's Spaghetti House. Nick's Spaghetti House, combining great food in a horse racing atmosphere.
Today on our Race of the Week, presented by Nick's Spaghetti House, we look at the 3-year-olds as they compete in the $50,000 CTHS Sales Stakes. Once again, this is for 3-year-olds, and it's one of the major perks you get when you purchase a BC bred out of the annual CTHS yearlings sale. Now let's have Brooke run down the field.
Silver Ruler is owned by J&V Morgan Ventures and Dick Ants. Silver Ruler is one of 3 maidens in today and goes long for the first time.
We've entered him 3 times, and this is the first time we've been able to go long, and we knew he wasn't a sprinter, so we're very optimistic that this horse will run a nice race.
Majesticality is owned by Mr. and Mrs. R.J. Bennett. Majesticality sports a strong work tab and has experience at this distance.
Well, the first time he ran long, he went to the front, which we didn't want to do, but he was pretty sharp, and being the first time going the distance, was a little bit confused, but I'm hoping just to sit off the pace a little bit.
Woodshed is owned by Swift Thoroughbreds. Woodshed is coming off a big win and might be near the lead early today.
He's coming into the race okay. Only problem is he's only had 3 starts, I believe, and he's been off for 2 months. So, and he's never gone a mile and 16, so it's actually a lot to ask for a horse.
Red Wrangler is owned by Brian, Ben, and Nicole Giesbrecht. Red Wrangler is coming off a second-place finish and has a good work tab in prep for this one.
You let the horse dictate how they want to run. I don't like speed horses because every time you go to the lead, there's always one going to attack you, and after that, there's going to be another one coming at you. So I like just to probably lay off the lead a little bit, Tommy.
Quachi is owned by Swift Thoroughbreds. Quachi has the most experience going long and is coming off a big win at this distance.
I know he won for a lot cheaper than, quite a lot cheaper than this race is, but again, the sales stake tends to be one of those races that it's restricted, and we know he's a road specialist, so we thought we'd take a shot with him and see what we can do.
Silly Fella is owned by Nick, Pauline, and Giovanni Felicella. Silly Fella sports the largest bankroll in the field, and he might just be stalking the leaders today.
He's coming into the race really well. We hope for a good run from him today.
Do you have any preference on how his running style will be, or do you talk it over with Pedro?
We'll talk it over today, Pedro and I, and go over the form and see what we're going to do.
Dees Victor is owned by Free Roman Farm. Dees Victor is a lightly raced maiden stretching out for the first time.
He's ready to go. He'll be coming off the pace a bit, so hopefully he'll be right there.
Prince Intent is owned by Glenn Todd and Patrick Kinsella. Prince Intent sports the top Bayer and is not immune to hitting the board.
He ran a really good race going long over in Edmonton. He hooked a horse that was right there that fell in the Canadian Derby. I think he'll run really good tonight, I really do.
Now, let's enjoy this strong field of colts and geldings. They're going a mile and a 16th in the CTHS Sales Stakes.
There they go. Field of 8 colts and geldings, 3-year-olds sent on the way in the CTHS Sales Stakes, and Silly Fella is gunned for the early lead. Down on the inside is Woodshed. Prince Intent settles into third. Majesticality fourth by 2.5, followed by Red Wrangler. Then on the outside comes Dees Victor. 3 back is Quachi and Silver Ruler through the stretch now for the first time. On the inside is Woodshed by a head. Silly Fella, though, on the outside, pressing the pace. Prince Intent sits in third. Majesticality fourth. On the outside comes Dees Victor. As they pass by us now, the opening quarter up in 23-3. Into the clubhouse turn they go. Moving through on the inside now is Majesticality. Woodshed and Silly Fella widest of all. Prince Intent, Red Wrangler down towards the inside in fifth. Silver Ruler sixth. Dees Victor and Quachi. They went through the half in 48 flat as they race down the backstretch now. Silly Fella takes the lead, leads it now by a length and a quarter. Majesticality, Prince Intent on the outside. Woodshed losing ground. Down on the inside, Red Wrangler, Dees Victor, Silver Ruler, and Quachi. Now a quarter mile to run, 6 furlongs, 1:12-2, and Silly Fella by a length and a half. Prince Intent, the closest pursuer. Majesticality in third by 2.5. Red Wrangler, Dees Victor, and then back to Quachi. Hey, furlong from home, and Silly Fella. He's being confronted by Prince Intent. Down the lane they come now. On the inside, Silly Fella. On the outside, Prince Intent. Prince Intent now by a neck. Prince Intent to score in the CTHS Sales Stakes. Silly Fella second. Red Wrangler third. Dees Victor fourth.
Well, he bred pretty good. He always breaks good at the gate, and the idea was, Troy and Glenn told me, to put in lane tour 4, just behind the speed and just save him to the end. I think that worked pretty well.
What are your plans for a horse like this? Because he's just learning.
He's just learning, but, we've got Cherokee Notion, and we've got Dynastroll, and, we've always felt this horse was a good horse, but just a notch below a few of the others. We're very fortunate to have some really good 3-year-olds, and we might run them in the Derby. We'll see how the others are. But we bought all 3 of those horses in the CTHS sale. Dynastroll, Cherokee Notion, and this horse. We bought 5, and 3 of them are stakes winners. So that tells you something about the CTHS sales.
And when's that sale coming up?
It's on September the 14th at Thunderbird Arena.
Time now for the Sport of Kings movie trivia question. Today's question: this 2005 movie tells the story of a father and a daughter that grow together with the help of a broken horse. The daughter, Cale Crane, is played by Dakota Fanning. who plays her father, Ben Crane? We'll have the answer for you in just a moment. Don't go away. The Sport of Kings. We'll be right back. Time now for the answer to today's movie trivia question. The movie is called Dreamer. Ben Crane was played by Kurt Russell. And by the way, the horse does win the Breeders' Cup, only in Hollywood.
Coming up this fall, horse racing gets some major market exposure with the opening of the big budget movie Secretariat. And in conjunction with our Salute to the Champions, brought to you by the Vancouver Province, you're in for a treat. As we're going to show you, Secretariat's one of his big races. Not the kind you thought you would be seeing. This is when he got beat by Onion, one of the biggest defeats in horse racing history. It is the 1973 Whitney Stakes, run at Belmont Park. It's between Secretariat and the giant killer, Onion.
The Salute to the Champions is brought to you by the Province Sports, where you can read Tommy Walski's column, Hoss Talk, every Friday. The Province Sports, it all starts here.
And they're off. And that's ruled by reason between horses. On the outside, there goes Onion, and West Coast Scout is now third. That's Secretariat fourth, and True Night is fifth as they round the clubhouse turn. Onion takes command now, moving quickly to a 2.5 length lead, with West Coast Scout second by ahead, ruled by reason alongside third. A gap of 2 lengths, Secretariat is fourth, 3 lengths farther back, True Night, as the field moves on to the backstretch. Onion has the lead by 1 3/4 lengths. West Coast Scout is second on the inside by 3/4 of a length. Ruled by reason next, and there goes Secretariat, moving through along the inside now to be fourth. A gap of 6 lengths and True Night. Down the backstretch, it's Onion showing the way by 1.5 lengths. And on the outside, West Coast Scout second ahead. There's Secretariat, a closer third on the inside, moving to the leader. 2.5 lengths farther back, ruled by reason, 8 lengths, and it's True Night fifth. They go past the half-mile pole into the far turn. Onion in front by 1 length. That's Secretariat. On the inside, taking over second position, moving to the leader. West Coast Scout is now third, with ruled by reason fourth. Far back, it's True Night. On the far turn, Onion in front by ahead. Secretariat on the rail, now up to challenge for the lead. Coming to the top of the stretch, it's Onion on the outside. And Secretariat on the rail up to challenge. They turn for home. There's 3/16 of a mile to the finish. It's Onion on the outside. Secretariat on the rail, stride for stride, head and down the stretch they come. Onion on the outside, Secretariat on the rail. 1/8 of a mile to the finish. The leaders head and head, stride for stride. Secretariat and Onion. Onion has the lead by ahead. Secretariat on the inside, past the 16th pole. It's Onion in front by ahead. On the inside, Secretariat.
Hey racing fans, are you looking to buy a future champion at the CTHS auction? Look no further than Foundation Stables Chestnut Filly, represented by Red Rock Farms in the auction. Hip 51 is the first foal from Foundation Stables multiple stakes winner Slew Pass. Slew Pass won $280,000 for her owners and was bred to graded stakes winner Finality. Check her out in the parade on Monday, September 13th, and you'll want to have her running in your silks next year.
Okay, that's it for this edition of the Sport of Kings. And once again, on behalf of everyone here, we would like to say thank you for allowing us to be with you on this last half hour. 2 things to leave you with. On September 14th, it's the annual CTHS Yearling and Mixed Sale. It's to be held at Thunderbird Show Park in Langley. It's at 2 p.m. And Monday, now that's this coming Monday, it's Holiday Races. 2 major stakes are included on the card. It's the Hong Kong Jockey Club, the Richmond Derby Trial, and most of all now remember to keep them straight or we will get you on that final turn. But remember, enjoy the weekend.